everyone and welcome back to my channel English with Antara. Today we are going to learn gerunds. What is a gerund? Do you know? Well, I'm sure many of you don't know what gerunds are, and today we'll be talking about them. Well, we use gerunds all the time. Gerunds are very common. And so it's important that we learn gerunds. So today we'll be learning gerunds. I'll tell you what a gerund is in general, and I'll tell you how to recognize a gerund or how to form a gerund, and then we'll look at when and how to use gerunds, and I'll tell you some fixed expressions that should be followed by a gerund. So let's get started. First of all, what is a gerund? Well, gerunds are words that look like verbs but are actually nouns. Okay, so probably still don't know what that means. So a verb is an action, right? We do a verb. Like, I love to jog every morning. I love to jog every morning. But this is the verb. What if we wanted to talk about the action instead of doing it? Something like, jogging is one of my favorite exercises. Jogging is one of my favorite exercises. So here we are talking about jogging as an action rather than a verb. Or something like, I love jogging. I love jogging. Here again, the word jogging is a noun. It's an action. And there you go, I've just used a gerund. Yes, the word jogging is a gerund. So it's not that difficult, is it? A gerund is simply a word that looks like a verb but is actually a noun. And now we move on to how to recognize a gerund. Gerunds are formed by adding ing to the base verb. So jog is our base verb, and we add ing to it, it becomes jogging. Jogging. And you can take this for any verb. We take swim plus ing, swimming. Read plus ing, reading. And swimming, jogging, reading are gerunds. Gerunds look like verbs. Now I can probably see that gerunds look like verbs. So to recognize a gerund, you need to pay attention to every sentence. And now I've got a little test for you. I'm going to say some sentences, and you have to recognize the gerunds in those sentences. So let's start. I absolutely love singing, but performing in public makes me really nervous. Standing on stage in front of a crowd is terrifying. So recognize the gerunds in these sentences. I absolutely love singing, but performing in public makes me really nervous. Standing on stage in front of a crowd is terrifying. So there we have our gerunds. Did you pass the test? So far we've learned what a gerund is in general. We've learned how to recognize a gerund and how to form a gerund. And now let's look at when and how to use gerunds. Gerunds are nothing but nouns, and we use gerunds just like we use a noun. We use gerunds as the subject of the sentence, the object of the sentence, after prepositions, and in fixed expressions. And we are going to break this down. So first of all, we use gerunds as the subject of the sentence or the subject of clause. For instance, volunteering is a great way to give back to your community. Volunteering is a great way to give back to your community. Eating fruits is important for a healthy diet. Eating fruits is important for a healthy diet. Or studying gerunds does not have to be confusing. Studying gerunds does not have to be confusing. So there I've used gerunds as the subject of the sentences. Volunteering, eating, studying. We can use gerunds as the object of the sentence. And verbs that usually take gerunds as objects are love, like, hate, dislike, prefer, enjoy, and many more. So for instance, I really like cooking. I really like cooking. She enjoys taking beautiful pictures of the sunset. She enjoys taking beautiful pictures of the sunset. I prefer having a cup of coffee when I have a headache. I prefer having a cup of coffee when I have a headache. We also use gerunds after prepositions. And prepositions are words like in, on, at, for, and these words are really confusing. So for instance, she walked out of the room without saying a word. She walked out of the room without saying a word. He had snacks after finishing homework. He had snacks after finishing homework. Have a cup of coffee before leaving. Have a cup of coffee before leaving. So in these sentences I've used gerunds after prepositions. Now let's look at some fixed expressions which must be followed by gerunds. Expressions that must be followed by gerunds are like can't help. I can't help being a perfectionist. I can't help being a perfectionist. Can't stand. I can't stand working when I'm hungry. I can't stand working when I'm hungry. It's no use. It's no use. It's no use in calling her. She's always late. It's no use in calling her. She's always late. Or in spite of. In spite of. In spite of practicing for hours, she failed the test. In spite of practicing for hours, she failed the test. Or be capable of. Be capable of. I'm capable of working with a cup of coffee. I'm capable of working with a cup of coffee. These are some of the typical expressions that must be followed by a gerund. Alright, that's it for today. That's it for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. And if you want notes, I've listed everything in the description box. You can check it out. And be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos. Be sure to like my video if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to share my videos with your friends. And if you have any suggestions, you can please comment them down and I always try to reply. Also visit my website www.englishwithantara.in where I upload posts, articles of literally everything. And you can also check out my new book 101 Autobiography Essays. The link is in the description. You can check out the explainer video also. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye!